Remix. Let's get it. You got Joey Flowsa here. Spotify, you know, all the fly platforms that the kids use these days. So I wanted to talk today, July 22nd, 2024, year of our Lord. I want to talk today about my man, and it's kind of interesting that I say that, but I want to talk about my man, Ricky Watters, former NFL running back out of Harrisburg and Notre Dame, started with the 49ers, went to the Eagles, and ended up with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you have a running back that was a featured I-back, had big games in the playoffs, was a touchdown machine, all right, with San Francisco when they made their run. And just a down in, down out, big back, 6'2", 220, you could count on it. Very demonstrative, almost came across as cocky, attitudinal, if you will. But let's not forget the position that the man plays. He plays I-back, running back, tailback, as we say down here in Texas. And you would think that I wouldn't like the guy. And I didn't like the guy because he was always so demonstrative but killing it for San Francisco, taking over for Roger Craig on those boys and their kind of 2.0 version with Young and Craig, doing the damn thing. And Young and Watters, the new Craig, Young, the new Montana, that was kind of who the Cowboys had to go through as they were the best team in the NFL. And Ricky Watters was on that team. He's very, very cocky, very demonstrative. Didn't like the guy. Then he goes to the Eagles, division rival, okay, on a big free agent deal. Still continued to not like him. Then he goes to Seattle. Okay, now I am saying these things and mentioning and talking today about Ricky Watters because I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's over 12,000 yard back and had good playoff success. Was on playoff runs or on 3 different playoff teams that he was the leading ground gainer. There's something to be said for that, certainly as we're talking about, from 92 to 99 when the running the football was still a thing. It was Emmett, it was Thurman Thomas, Emmett Smith, Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders, Dorsey Levens, Terrell Davis, Jamal Anderson, on and on and on. These really good teams have really good I-backs, right, that they could just give it to. Every single one of them, up until 99 when the Rams had Marshall Faulk. So, it was a big deal back then. So, the point of contention with Ricky Watters and not being in the Hall of Fame, many people will blame one incident, a game for the Philadelphia Eagles when they were playing Tampa Bay, I believe it was, and the game was out of hand. So, it's late in the game, and Rick, being the talented guy that he is, he could catch the ball down the field, okay, along with being a great I-back, toting the football down in, down out. So they run him on this deep route. The game's out of hand. It's a long kind of an in, right? Kind of an over the middle, and the quarterback kind of hung him out there a little bit. But Rick could have, an athlete, a football player of the caliber of Rick Watters could have gotten to that pass. He could have, but here comes a guy that's going to blow him up, right? It might even have been 2. He's going to get plastered. He short arms it, pulls up, doesn't catch it. And so, of course, this is Philly. All right, this is a tough town, right? And so, the reporter's going to ask him about it right after the game. And, hey, looked like you could have caught that pass. You pulled up a little bit. You looked like you could have caught it, but you didn't. And Rick uttered the infamous line that I like to call upon myself. Why? For what? And that's going to get you some hot water with the fans. For all, certainly Philly's a tough town. They expect you to be tough. They expect you to go over the middle. They expect you to play hard from, intro to fin. And just football in general. And all these guys are making all this money. And Rick made a substantial amount of money. But you also have to take a look at the story from Rick's perspective. In this case, discretion being the better part of valor. If he takes that hit, on that Philadelphia turf, okay, it was going to be really bad. One that takes time off your career kind of a hit. Right? And I know you're supposed to play hard, you fight to the fin, but this is the NFL. And let us not forget that this man also got a big money deal to go play with Seattle. Okay? So he still had tread left on the tire and was a lead back in Seattle. Seattle drafts Sean Alexander, stud at Alabama. Kid out of Kentucky, stud. And strung together a couple good seasons in the NFL. Really high-level MVP seasons. I believe he was MVP once. Madden cover boy, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So he's the guy in waiting. Well, Rick misses a few games. And the Seattle's competitive. They got Mike Holmgren. Rick misses a few games. And the whole scuttlebutt with the meteor was that, well, now it's Alexander's job. And Rick's just going to fade off to the sunset. And I'm thinking, you dumb bastards. He is a proven 1,500-yard back versus a rookie in a first or second year guy in a playoff hunt, in a playoff race for Seattle. Okay, so he comes back. Everybody except me and Holmgren and the Seahawks expect, Alexander to go ahead and keep it going. It's going to be his time now. Bullshit. I knew from go. Oh, no, Rick will be back in the lineup. And, if he's some kind of scaredy cat and some kind of puss, why wouldn't he just say, let the kid have it? We're into the season. The rest of my contract's guaranteed. I'm a veteran. You guys should let me go after this year or whatever. But let the kid play. It's no problem. I'll just chill out. Nah. Nope. Came back in. Played, got it done, and they ended up in the postseason that year. Okay, but this whole thing kept the guy that was, again, the leading rusher on 3 different playoff teams, was the leading touchdown scorer on a Super Bowl winning team, Super Bowl 29, San Francisco, when they beat the then San Diego Chargers. Rick had 3 scores in that game and had several throughout the playoffs. So, again, screw the attitude, screw the fact that he played for teams that I did not like. I only like the Cowboys. I don't have backup teams. Okay, I'm a Cowboys fan. That's it. So I don't like any of them, especially NFC teams. Certainly Seattle's done it to us a few times. Certainly the Eagles have, and obviously San Francisco has. So I can't stand them. But fuck all that, man. You gotta give the man his proper respect. You gotta give him his due. He's a Hall of Famer. Put him in. Okay, and again, I know you get the Fred Taylors out there, and Fred's an interesting discussion, as is Frank Gore. But of those 3, okay, Rick's got the postseason time. All right, and he's got the postseason impact. All right, so put this man in and answer the question, why for what? Because dude's a Hall of Famer. That's why. Joey Flowsa, popping in, giving my take on Rick Waters. Hope y'all dug it. I'll pop back in at some point. Until then, 2 ears, 2 eyes. You could be replaced in this life, but you can't be duplicated. There's only one you, and people care about you.